Deep in the mountains of Brașov County lies a tunnel unlike any other. Carved through rock and shadow, it stretches more than 4 kilometers, Romania's longest railway tunnel. It is called the Teliu Tunnel. By day it is silent, the tracks gathering dust. But when night falls, the locals avoid it. They whisper that this tunnel is cursed. A monument built on sweat, fire, and death. And in its darkness, a ghost still walks. At the dawn of the 20th century, thousands of workers were brought to Teliu. Armed with shovels, picks, and dynamite, they clawed their way into the Carpathian rock. The work was brutal. Fires broke out as methane gas ignited in sudden bursts. Explosions collapsed, chambers burying men alive. For 7 long years, laborers bled, sweated, and died in the dark, all for the vision of one man, engineer Iulius Colțână. He was brilliant, determined, and tireless. The tunnel was to be his legacy, his masterpiece. When at last the day of the grand opening arrived, the people of Brașov gathered in celebration. On that faithful day, Colțână stood proudly on a makeshift stage above the entrance. Before the cheering crowd, he lifted 2 electrical wires, symbols of progress of the future. He brought them together in a ceremonial gesture, but instead of the celebration came tragedy. The wires sparked. A sudden flame burst forth, and in an instant, Colțână was struck down, electrocuted before his life's work. The crowd fell silent as his body collapsed. The tunnel had claimed its greatest victim, the man who had given everything to create it. Colțână was buried in an elaborate marble tomb, carved in the shape of the very tunnel he had built. For decades it stood as a monument to his genius, but in 1963 his body was exhumed and moved to a cemetery in Bucharest. What was left behind was desecrated. Piece by piece, the ornate marble was stolen. The grave was left in ruins. Locals believed that this act awoke his restless spirit, that his soul turned from its resting place, returned to the only home it had ever known, the tunnel itself. Strange stories began to spread. Railway workers spoke of seeing a lone figure wandering the darkness, a tall man in old-fashioned clothes, clutching 2 wires in his hands. Some saw sparks dancing between them. Others heard a faint humming sound like electricity buzzing just above their ears. Those who worked the night shift swore they felt watched, followed by footsteps that they were never there. At times, the tunnel seemed to breathe, a low hum vibrating through the walls. And sometimes, just sometimes, a pale face appeared in the glow of a lantern. Always the same face, always his. One story tells of a train operator who stopped inside the tunnel one foggy night. As he stepped out, he saw a man at the far end, holding wires that glowed like burning steel. The figure walked slowly towards him. With every step, the lights on the train flickered, and the air grew colder. Terrified, the operator climbed back aboard, but the engine refused to start. Only when the figure faded into the dark did the train roar back to life. Another tale comes from villagers nearby who claim that in certain nights, if you stand quietly by the entrance, you will hear it. A faint crackle of electricity, followed by the dragging echo of footsteps. Those who are brave enough to pee inside sometimes see 2 faint lines of light stretching into the distance. as though Colțână himself is trying to complete the connection he never finished in life. The tunnel is long, endless, suffocating. Those who dare to walk it at night describe the walls closing in, the darkness swallowing them whole. At the halfway point, the silence is broken by a sudden spark. A flash of light reveals him, the ghostly engineer. His eyes are empty, his hands gripping the same wires that killed. He does not speak, he only walks. Close, closer, and if you do not run, you may feel it. The sting of static dancing across your skin, as though his death is trying to claim you too. Today, the Teliu Tunnel is rarely used. It lies quiet, a relic of a different time. But locals know better. They say Colțână still patrols his masterpiece, forever bound to the darkness he carved, forever searching for the spark that ended his life. So if you ever find yourself near Brașov, and curiosity tempts you to explore the tunnel, listen carefully. If you hear the hum of wires, if the lights begin to flicker, and if you see a shadow holding two glowing cords, turn back. For once the engineer notices you, he will not let you live.